Welcome all humans and other beings. My name is Lara and this is Zollar, Tarot and Art. And today what I'm going to be doing is reading your Tarot and Oracle cards, and I'm going to be tying that into an image that I received in a meditation download. There's also a song associated with today's reading, which I will get into in a minute. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for being here. Keep in mind that this is this is a collective reading. It's not a personal reading. If you're here, you're probably going to find something in here for yourself. But if it really sounds off, don't try to make it fit. So just keep that in mind. Also, someone asked me why I wear gloves. I wear gloves because it protects the art. And I don't like to smear the art, especially when I work in pencil. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this drawing. What I was seeing is this face, right? And it almost had like sad eyes, this face that was looking right out at me. And what I'm going to do is I will be working on this drawing throughout the reading, and I'm also going to be finishing it up at the end and attaching it in a sped up format so you can see the completion of this drawing. So I'm just going to do the quick face, and it's almost like this person looked like a little bit lost or stunned, which definitely ties into the song that I've been receiving. The song is by 21 Pilots, and it's called Heathens. And I'm going to sing it a little bit. I'm not a singer, just keep that in mind. But I'm going to sing it a little because the tune, the sound of the music actually ties in well with the feeling that I'm getting for this particular reading. So it's Heathens. And it says, all my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. And I know that song was featured in the movie Suicide Squad, although I didn't see that, but I did go and I looked at the video itself, and it featured the people from that movie. But with this particular drawing, what I was seeing was this face, and then there was like all of what looked like hair coming all the way down, and covering up the face almost completely. But it almost started looking like jail bars. And it's interesting because the video itself, which is what I watched after I got this image, is all these people who are criminals. They're violent, they're heathens, and they are in jail, right? So we're gonna diagnose that song a little bit more as we do the reading, but I want to go ahead and pull some cards for you, and I'm going to speed this up. So here we go. Okay, I have laid out your spread with clarifiers, and I can see that it definitely ties into the song and into this this drawing, and I'll explain how. So so what I'm seeing here is like you have moved away from something quite abusive, and I almost feel like it's multiple people. Like there's definitely one person in particular, but there is like a group of people or a situation, maybe a job or something, where you were definitely being abused. But you didn't, it's not that you lost, it's just that it was like really disturbing your peace, and you really had to juggle your resources and make smart decisions and have a lot of courage here. You have strength here. But you've got this card here where Six of Swords is like moving away towards something better, moving away from the strife and the drama. And in the song, in the Heathen song, he says, don't come near these people. Don't come near these psychopaths, these narcissists. Don't come near them. I'm warning you, don't. And if you do, move really slowly, move really carefully, because you don't want them targeting you. Because he says that, because he equates himself in the song to being one of these people as well, is, even if you take away our guns, even if you take away our tools and everything like that, our brains are so messed up that they're still like hand grenades. Yeah. So yeah, so you've been moving away from that, moving towards, because I see here you might have been struggling with money for a little while too, but you're moving towards not only wealth and abundance, but also towards emotional fulfillment, which is the Ten of Cups here. And doing this quite independently. Maybe you had a little bit of help. For the most part, that I see you've done this by yourself. So you're very independent. You're a very abundant person, and this is your natural state. And it's laying over the sun, and the sun is an excellent card. The sun is, this is about success and prosperity, abundance and stuff like that. So I can see that you have been working very diligently and keeping your focus. You've had to keep your focus through all of this nonsense. I mean, the Ten of Wands here is about these heavy burdens, maybe that you've had to carry. But things have flipped. I almost feel like there's been a flip. Like whatever was these people or this person intended for you kind of flipped on them. Like you chose something different. And these towers, which maybe you did experience at one point, you've alchemized it. You've shifted it and changed it into something else. And they are the ones who are experiencing the towers. And so I have a feeling like someone's going to jail. You see all of like this hair that's in front of this face, which I'll develop a little bit more. It's almost like prison, like jail. Yeah, and there's more indicators here for that, which I'll get to. But you've got the Three of Swords here. See this like broken heart and all these like acrobats here. They've got like swords through their heart. This has definitely caused you heartbreak. But you can move past the heartbreak or use it and change it, alchemize it. And you definitely were dealing with the devil, which is about oppression, about addictions. You might have beaten addiction. You might have beaten them, or this person. Oh, this is what. Okay, someone is drinking a lot. I get that. Like, and I hear the sirens in the background. I always say a little prayer when I hear sirens to send them light. So always, I've done it for years. But anyway, I heard the sirens. So it's like someone's in trouble. Someone is chained to the devil, or the devil energy, I should say. Someone is chained to their addictions. I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is somebody else. Whoever was like part of this, was this person or this group who was bringing towers into your life, or trying to, and who had been very abusive. So this is kind of putting them into hermit mode here. So this is kind of like they're starting to feel isolated, which is what this card also means. The Eight of Swords is another imprisonment card. Usually it means imprisonment in the mind, and it could be that this person's not literally going to an actual prison, but they're imprisoned in their mind and imprisoned in their addictions. Also you might have gone into hermitage for a while as well. So, but I see here that you are working through it, and you're working really hard to create something great. So you've got something to offer, which is nice. But I'm going to get more clarification on this with the oracle cards and see what we can see. So yeah, I get a distinct feeling though there's addiction here, probably alcohol, and definitely with some abuse here that had been going on for a while, but you are strong enough to move away from it because you knew there was something better for you, good for you. It's really hard to break trauma bonds from narcissists. If you happen to have been trauma bonded, and I know what this is like because I've been through it, it's a very hard thing to break away from. It's literally brainwashing. It's malintent from the narcissist to utterly destroy and control you. All right. Okay, can I have more clarification, please, on this reading for this collective? Oh, also, I'm going to try to remember to add a little list to the description box below of listing all of the tarot and oracle cards or decks I'm using for this particular reading, because I've had a person request that. So okay, can I have another one, please, for this collective? That's a pretty card. All right. And then another one, please. Well, although this makes sense. Okay. There might have been somebody who was trying to invade your dreams too. Like I get a sense that this is someone who's like twisted in their spirituality. Well, the word heathen is somebody who's not actually connected. They're not actually, they don't have any awareness of the connectivity between all beings. They don't have any deep spirituality or any at all. Even if they act like they do, even if they're a preacher or a minister, it doesn't necessarily mean they're actually tapped in. So a heathen is somebody who's not tapped in and doesn't believe in that. So, if you're dealing with psychopaths or you're dealing with sociopaths or narcissists, they do not actually connect to any kind of spirituality. They're not even connected to themselves really, and they only do things for themselves, for gaining for themselves, and they actually take great pleasure in destroying other people, emotionally, psychologically, even physically and things like that. So these cards are telling me right here, because you got herbal craft, oceans, muse, and astral travels. If someone's kind of been traveling, I think, at night to get into your dreams, I'm not sure it's working though. You might want to put some extra protections up or do some prayers, right? But it's showing me here that you're in a regeneration mode because you're still recovering from whatever this was. So it's like taking care of yourself, and you'll find that over time that it will just get better and better. This is Ocean's Muse. It says Hermit's Light in here. So like we were talking about the hermit. So you going inward and tapping into your intuition, and maybe even like going near water or something like that is going to help you tap into that intuition. Maybe take salt baths. Salt baths are great for clearing out any negative energy. The hermit's light is, because the hermit can represent a couple things. Here's the hermit. So the hermit is going inward, going in and spiritually isolating yourself, but it also, because he holds that lantern, he's the way shower, he shows the way to other people. So whatever you're going through is going to affect other people, whether it's just your children or people around you, or if you're an influencer, you've got some like platform online or something, you will be influencing those people as well. And you're going to discover something new about yourself. You're going to go into the depths. It's going into the depths here. So you need to go a little bit deeper, and that's going to help you heal and recover and discover what you need to do to continue to move towards your 10 of Cups and your Sun, right? And your 9 of Pentacles here. Listen to your dreams. Yeah, so listen to your dreams. Dream time's really, really important here. So let me see what your obstacles are. And maybe I'll draw a little bit more on this in a second. Yeah. Well, so whatever you went through, I'm really sorry. I know what that's like, to go through something that difficult. There may have been some really major losses for you too. So I'm sorry. And I know we're in weird times right now, but it looks like you're pulling through it. Like you got what it takes to pull through. And sometimes it just takes a little time and focus to do that. Maybe even a year or two or something like that. Maybe you've been trying to heal for several years, but you're finally like making some headway is what I'm seeing. Yeah. So don't get too caught in your head though, but it's reversed on whatever these people were doing. It's reversed on them. That's what they're going through. Just have compassion, come from compassion, come from your heart. That's very 5D. So, and that's what we're moving towards, right? We want to enlighten and lift the collective, which is actually the reason why I do this tarot channel. So let's see, what are the obstacles for this collective, please? What are the challenges and obstacles they're dealing with? What are the obstacles that they're dealing with, this collective? More, please. Obstacles and challenges that this collective is facing. Okay, so what it's showing me here is sometimes, and I understand this, sometimes when you know that people have targeted you, you're dealing with heathens, psychopaths, or narcissists or something like that. I know there are multiple, there are other definitions for heathens, but particularly in this song and what it's related to is what I'm referring to. So it might be that even though you are a compassionate person, you might be challenged a little bit in having compassion for those who have purposely targeted you, purposely abused you, purposely lied to you, purposely deceived you, purposely have, breadcrumbed you, gaslighted you, et cetera, all the abuses. So I know sometimes it's hard to find compassion, but that's when you go inward, right? You go inward and you find compassion for yourself again. Because when you have compassion for yourself and you have your spiritual core and everything, then you can have compassion for others, even if they are evil and wicked. So, and I can see that they are. And then staying balanced, because if these people have been trying to throw you off your balance and you've had to acquire new habits or things like that to stay healthy, that takes work. Temperance or balance takes work. Yeah, so I can see that's a challenge. And it's interesting because you got the star, which in this case I feel like this is self-healing. So you know, maybe you feel like sometimes you take a, you know, a couple steps forward and then you have to take a step back or something like that with regard to your health. If someone is like throwing magic at you or something like that, it might be infiltrating a little bit, or had in the past and you're recovering from that. Slander or anything to your reputation, stuff like that. So sometimes that's hard to recover from, but I see you are. It's just that you need to put in more self-care. Always go back to your inner self. Always go back to being aware of your own self-love in a healthy way, your own care. And, you know, you take your baths, take time out for yourself, speak nicely to yourself. That's really, really important. I promise you, like these heathens, these narcissists, these sociopaths, whatever, they don't have good inner talk. They don't. They are very critical of themselves. They're critical of the world. Everything is negative. Even though someone who's not a pure narcissist, they just have high narcissistic tendencies, you're going to find that they criticize everybody else and blame everybody else for the problems and et cetera, et cetera. So, but you don't need to do that. I can see that you're a good, caring, loving, balanced person, and your challenges have just been to maintain that compassion for yourself and others, stay balanced, and work on your self-care. Yeah. Yeah. So you want to, in doing that, then what you do is you take yourself out of situations that are painful and abusive. You know, in the song he warns, he says, stay away, I've warned you, you know, stay away from these people. And they want to know who, you know, it says, wait for them to ask you who you know and everything. So they're opportunists. You know, these people are motivated by things like greed and lust. And, you know, the negative sides of our, you know, who we are as beings. This person was definitely kind of stunned, this face that I saw. And yeah, just sort of like imprisonment here. You could almost see the tops of their eyes too, like someone who's shocked a little bit, you know, like that. Get that impression. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull some oracles here on yeah, what are the solutions? What's the best thing that this collective can do, please? What's the best thing this collective can do to get the best results? What's the best thing they can do? What's the best thing this collective can do to get the best results? I don't take dropped cards. It's these bigger cards sometimes I have trouble with. All right, what else? What are the solutions, the best things this collective can do, please? Nice, and then, yeah, that makes sense. And then one more, please. Best thing they can do. Well, this all ties in together. Yeah, aren't these pretty cards? So we have generosity, we have strength, and we have compassion. So come from your heart. So this was laying over like the challenge for having compassion and everything. This Queen of Cups here. But this is like being generous with yourself, generous with your heart. Don't let these other people who are damaged people damage you and damage your heart. Don't let that close you down. I know sometimes when you go through something really hard and you've had your, you know, you've really had your trust tested, it's really hard to trust again. But this doesn't mean that you have to shut down your heart. So just work on keeping your heart open despite that. I mean, you know, look for the red flags in other people and stay away from these narcissistic types so they don't get you hooked back in again, and stay away from bad habits that pull you into things like that. But be generous with yourself. You know, she's holding her heart here. And this one actually looks really similar. All three of these, she's holding like her heart too. This says have strength, supremacy of oneself. So you know, you had strength here, and this is just reiterating that stay strong, stay true to yourself. Stay true to your spiritual beliefs. Stay strong and in your core, right? And that's going to get you through pretty much anything. And then you have compassion here. It says, in the heart of the other. So this is compassion for yourself and compassion for others as well, which we've talked about. So yeah, so I can see that there's just like a lot of love here. You're a very loving person and you have a lot to give. So sometimes people take advantage of that. But as we go through more and more situations like that, we get to see the red flags and know not to give ourselves too much to, or at all, to those who we see are abusers, you know, and then we have more room to bring quality people into our life who actually will be receptive to our love in a positive way and will also encourage us to love ourselves. But regardless of whether or not there are other people, always love yourself, always have that inner strength, that inner fire, that inner love, and that connection to the divine. So let me pull one more card. Actually, let's pull 3 cards from this particular oracle before we wrap this up. You go listen to that song because it really, the sound of it and the words and everything it really emphasizes like just how dangerous certain people are in their thinking. They think very differently than people who are empathic or who are compassionate, good people. And so it's really hard to understand like where some people are coming from, but they're just really damaged. They're just really damaged people and they've not cleared up their traumas. And they probably never will. They might be too far gone. So any more advice, please, for this collective before we wrap it up and finish the drawing? Any more advice, please? Yeah. Anything else, please? And one more, please. Yeah, change is coming. Well, instantly when I look at this like bag of marbles, I think of like someone's lost their marbles. I don't think it's you. I feel like it's like whoever this person is who might be going to prison or who's having these major addiction problems. It's like they've lost their marbles. So you got your marbles though. Keep those in your little bag. Yeah, and so I feel like there's been a lot of thinking going on. There's been a lot of mulling all this stuff over, like what happened, why it happened, and what you can do about it, and how can you heal yourself after this occurred, and avoid more of that type of stuff. And this is the time card, which also reminds me of karma. So don't worry, people do get their karma. And I also think you need a little bit more time for healing. And what you're doing is you're still the butterfly in the cocoon, perhaps, or you're just emerging, or maybe you just did emerge recently as this, beautiful butterfly. So, there's a 5 here, and this is 5s are about change. So don't, just give yourself the time that you need to, get to your sun. But I feel like you're fine. It's just that I'm sorry that you've had to deal with all that other stuff, because we all do, especially if we are here on missions or anything like that of an advanced type of advanced missions or anything like that. We're going to come up against people who want to take us down, right? And we just have to learn how to either bypass them, overcome them, or neutralize, so that yeah. And it looks like these people are being neutralized, like they're going to prison and stuff, or they're imprisoned in their mind. So I don't think that they can do much more to you. But that doesn't mean there aren't other psychopaths or narcissists in the world. And you get better and better at dealing with that over time. So be patient with yourself. And also I'm getting what I'm getting off this is that you need to really like maybe evaluate your talents again, like everything you've created. Like a bag of talents is what I'm hearing. So it's like you may have multiple talents, even things that you have not yet really either fully developed, or you just haven't revealed to the world, or you don't, it might feel like it's a hobby or something like that. You might want to look into that a little bit more and see just how beautiful you are, and take the time to really explore that, so that you can fully blossom into this gorgeous butterfly that you're meant to be, that you are. Yeah. So, well, that's your reading. Thank you for being here. I hope that helped you in some way. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this drawing and speed that up so you can see, and then show you the colorized version. And till next time, thank you so much for being here. And if you like and subscribe, that helps this channel grow, and I really do appreciate that too. It's a nice energetic exchange. So, all right, till next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.